Alright. So there is one small thing that I forgot to mention. Your jQuery also provides your AJAX features. So we have seen in your JavaScript AJAX with your XML HTTP request, with your callbacks and your promises, correct? We can also do that with your jQuery. So I gave a small example here. So this is your example that we have seen. So you remember that load file function that we have, where we created our XML HTTP request object, and we called XML HTTP.open, and then we specified what type of request it is and what is the URL, and then we have created a onReadyStateChange callback function to handle that request. Your jQuery also provides a way to do it. Is your $.ajax function to perform your asynchronous call. This is a URL that I wanted to access. This is a method that I wanted to execute. So by default, if you don't specify anything, it's your GET request. Here you really don't need to mention your method. But if you are executing your POST request or PUT request or DELETE request, then you have to mention it. Okay. And here is your success function and your error function. Your success function will get called once your request is complete. And your error callback function is called once if it faces any error when it tries to fetch the data. Okay, that's your $.ajax function. This is an example. Okay, for example, if once I get my file 1, okay, I wanted to look at the content of my file 1 and load another file, let's say. We saw the same example where we nest our functions. So here is that example where I have my first AJAX call, which will load my file 1 with your GET request. If you see inside my success function, I have another callback, another AJAX call. So we are nesting your asynchronous calls, one inside the other. Your AJAX function, it gets the data. Your success function basically have a parameter called data. So based upon your first AJAX call response, your data will be set. Here the variable name can be anything. Here I just chosen data, but it's up to you. I'm just taking the data that I get and I'm appending by .text to create my second URL, and I'm executing my second GET request and consoling the data here. Okay, this is how you perform if you wanted to have multiple asynchronous calls. If one async call, your second async call depends upon your first async call response. Okay, use your $.ajax function. And you have an error function, your error function will be called if there is any error. But here if you see I have an error function for my first AJAX call, I have an error function for my second AJAX call. This is one of the disadvantages of your callbacks as well. You cannot have one common error call for both your requests. Okay, if you wanted to do it with promises, jQuery also provides a way to do it. Your promises one is even better. Your $.ajax, this is the first URL that I wanted to hit. You pass it as an object and you say .then. .then basically will give you the response of your first AJAX call. And inside your then function, you make another AJAX call. This is your second AJAX call. $.ajax. URL is data plus .txt. Second AJAX call, once this AJAX call is complete, then it will call the done function and I can console the response. If there is a failure, I use a .fail function. This is like your .catch that we have seen for your promises. Here in jQuery we use .fail to catch any failures of your promises. Okay, this is one other thing that you need to be aware of as well in your jQuery. How to perform async calls inside your jQuery. This is one of the popular interview question as well. Okay, we just tell them that we use $.ajax to perform the asynchronous call. Your $.ajax we can provide, we can pass an object which contains your different key value pairs. Some of the properties are your URL, your method. You also have data. You can specify your content type. So those are some of the properties that we can set here. Okay, and it also contains your callback functions, your success and error. Success basically will execute once everything goes well. If there is any error, your error callback function would be executed. If you see, these are all anonymous functions. You can use your lambda expressions, your arrow functions as well, because these are anonymous functions. And you can also use jQuery promises. This is how you do it. Here, this is an object. You can pass multiple values here. Here I pass a URL. You can say comma. You can say method equal to get, method colon get, data colon. If you are executing a post request, that if you wanted to send a form data, you can use the data property to do it. Data colon the data that you wanted to send. Okay, this is one other important thing that you need to know about your jQuery. Is your jQuery Ajax. Okay, so we covered the important ones, but jQuery is pretty big. So if you know these, I think this